Good morning. It's time for some daily examples. Here we're multiplying and dividing mixed numbers. First example is 10 times 6 and 1/18. Strategies are going to be very similar as we go through these. Try to get all the numbers in terms of fractions or improper fractions. So here we're going to have 10 times 6 and 1/18. If you do 6 times 18, you get 60 plus 48. 108 plus 1 is 109. And then just as a reminder of how we got that, it's the denominator times the whole number plus the numerator. And we're going to still divide that by the original denominator. So 6 times 18 is 108 plus 1 over 18 is 109 over 18. And that sets up the problem. Now to simplify, I'm going to look to see if I can cross-cancel anything from the top to the bottom. You can always visualize the whole number as something divided by 1, so 10 over 1. I'm going to take a common factor of 2 out of the 10 and the 18, so 10 divided by 2 is 5. Let's see. We got 109. Take a 2 out here, we get 9. Oh, 5 times 109. 545 divided by 9. Just a quick work on how we got that. So we have 5 times 109. 5 times 100 is 500. And 5 times 9 is 45. So that gives me 545. At any rate, final answer here is going to be 545 over 9. Let's look at the next problem. Here we're just multiplying two fractional terms. So the first one is a mixed number. So again, I'd write that as an improper fraction. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 2 is 44. So that gives me 44 over 7 times 1 over 4. And again, just as a reminder, we would get 7 times 6 plus 2 all over 7. That gives you 42 plus 2 over 7, which is 44 over 7. Okay, now when we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. So we don't need a common denominator or anything like that. In this case, I can divide the top and the bottom by 4. So 44 divided by 4 is 11. And 4 divided by 4 is 1. So we ultimately end up with just 11 over 7 times 1. And my final answer is 11 over 7. Let's move on to the next one. And now we're looking at a division problem. We want to take 45 and divide that by 11 and 4/7. So a couple things we're going to do here, one of which we've already done. So divided by 11 and 4/7. So first step would be to write that using improper fractions. So that's 7 times 11 is 77 plus 4 is 81. So we get 81 over 7. Again, let's just show you how we do that. So that's 7 times 11 plus 4 over 7. That's 77 plus 4 over 7, or 81 over 7. Remember, whenever we divide by a number, we can also multiply by its reciprocal, which would be the same thing. So here we would get 45 times 7 over 81. Now here we can factor, let's see, a common factor of 45 and 81 is 9, so we can divide 45 by 9, and we get 5. We can divide 81 by 9 and get 9. When we simplify that, we end up with 35 over 9. And that's our final answer. Simplified form. Now you may want to write your answer as a whole, as a mixed number. Just make sure you read the instructions. They'll have details on how you should write your answer. But 9 goes into 35 3 times, which is 27, which leaves 8. So here my answer would be 3 8/9. Quickly up here, I want to just verify that we get what's going on here. So what I'm going to do is divide that 45 by 9, and in the bottom, divide the 81 by 9. So 45 divided by 9 is 5, and 81 divided by 9 is 9. So that's where we ended up with 5 times 7 over 9. And then also at the bottom, 35 divided by 9, you can just go ahead and do the division. 9 goes to 35 3 times. That's 27. We can subtract that. We get 8. So our answer here would be 3 and 8 over 9. Next example. Here we're told to evaluate m times n. So remember, when we have letters, there's nothing between them. It implies multiplication, so that's m times n. And it gives us a value for m and a value for n. So in this case, we're going to have 2 3/5 times 9. Same steps as before. We'll get a improper fraction. So 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. So we have 13 over 5 times 9. And you can also think about that as 9 over 1. There are no factors top to bottom. All three of these numbers are prime. 5, 9, well, 9's not prime. 5 and 13 are prime. 9 is not prime, but it has no factors common to 5 and 13. So nothing can cross cancel here, so we're just going to multiply straight across. So 9 times 13 is 90 plus 27, which is 117 over 5. And then just a quick bit about how we got the 117. So we have 9 times 13. So I use the distributive property. I think about that as 9 times 10 plus 3. So using the distributive property, we get 9 times 10 is 90, plus 9 times 3 is 27, and 90 and 27 is 117. And our last problem for today is to solve this word problem. So we have a portrait selling for $11 million in 2003. Then later on, in November 14th of 2012, the work was sold again for about 3 3/11 times the amount paid in 2003. So how much was paid for the portrait? One of the key words here is times. So it originally sold for 11 million, and then it sold for about 3 3/11 times that. So 3 3/11 times that. This will give us the amount the portrait was sold for in 2012. So process again, convert to an improper fraction. So 11 times 3 is 33, plus 3 is 36. Over 11. In this case, we can cross cancel. Not those two guys. This one and this one. All right, so those both become 1. And we end up with just, at that point, 36. And that's my final answer. Make sure you let me know if you have any questions about any of the things we've done today.